Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another Figure Friday. I'm your host Tama, and today we're looking at something very special. To celebrate today's release of Spy Family Code White in Japan, I decided why not put the 1/7 scale Anya and Bond Forger figure from Kotobukiya on the center stage. I'm very excited to see this movie, and I hope you all are too. So, let's just dive right in. Once you get this huge box unpacked, and I mean, it's quite a large box, it comes with a couple of key items to make the figure complete. You get Bond, which is attached to the highly detailed, beautiful base modeled after the streets of Berlin. You also get everyone's favorite psychic schoolgirl, Anya, which can be placed right on top of him and slots in perfectly with little grooves that show hand and leg prints on the fur. An excellent little detail that adds a lot to the overall design and help it flow. And of course, you get an additional face that replaces Anya's default excited waku waku face with a simple and straightforward smile. Once everything is put together, it looks a little something like this. As you can see, this figure is absolutely fantastic. The pose is energetic and full of childlike wonder, as Anya points forward, living her dream of having a spy adventure on the back of a beautiful big fluffy dog. It reminds me of how I felt when I would imagine my own grandparents' dogs as giant loyal steeds that would protect me wherever I go. Bond's running pose is very well done, with his front legs jumping forward and dashing as far as his little old legs can take him. One concern I do have about this pose, however, is that Bond does feel quite heavy, and his front legs aren't supported by anything at all, so it's possible that it could lean over time, but only time will tell what will happen. Beside that, there's very little to complain about. The coloring and the shading on each part of the figure is absolutely immaculate. Especially the whites and the grays come together very well, and Bond as a whole looks incredible. Together, these two measure up to be 7.5 inches tall on a 1-inch thick base, and Bond's length comes out to about 9 inches from his nose to his tail. So, why would you want to buy this figure over this Sega prize figure with a nearly identical pose? It's much cheaper after all. Looking at the two side by side, you can see a big difference in the quality. You get a much bigger size, higher quality modeling, little to no defects, and an amazing paint job. The prize figure really feels like a cheap cake topper, and Anya's clothing is also completely different. The one big thing this figure gets right over its prize companion is the emotion. Anya looks so excited to be riding on the world's best doggo. The feet are also nicely glued to the base, whereas the prize slots right through the legs and looks awkward, not even touching the ground. To keep it short, this figure is better in every single way and is definitely worth the extra price. Speaking of, I got this figure on sale at AmiAmi for only 11,000 yen, or around $77 US. It should still be available right now if you are interested, so you can go ahead and get yourself one if you'd like. I do want to point out how nice the space looks. It's a little on the thicker side, as I previously mentioned, but the detail in the paintwork is absolutely phenomenal. It has a very nice stone design that mimics the kind of side streets you'd see in European city design, and it mimics that visual flair quite spectacularly. It also feels quite solid, especially for having a hollow underside, which is definitely a plus considering the potential for weight and balance issues that I talked about earlier. I love base designs that look nice and unique like this one does, and I really hope that future releases can keep things fresh as well. There's very little to be unimpressed with when it comes down to a Kotobukiya scale figure, and this is certainly no exception. Anya and Bond are definitely a powerful pair, and together this figure surpasses my expectations that I set when looking at the original design that seemed to one-up the Sega prize figure that had disappointed me so much. And that's why I give this figure a solid A rating across the board. Aside from the fear of leaning that plagues all enthusiasts in the figure collecting community, I can't see much to complain about. The artists involved with the production of this piece have really outdone themselves, and I believe this spectacle can certainly speak for itself. It's a sight to behold and definitely earns a place among the rest of my collection. Naturally, I'm a big Spy Family fan, and I look forward to seeing what other figures come out in the future. I try not to go overboard when buying different figures of the same characters, but I love this duo so much that I just can't help myself. Nevertheless, this figure is impressive, and I'm happy to be able to share this with all of you right in time for the release of the new movie. Are you guys excited to see Code White? I honestly don't know what to expect, but I'm hoping for a fun time with some of my favorite characters, so if I get that, I think I'll be satisfied. Let me know if you'll be watching it down below. Don't forget to leave a like and let me know that you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for more figure reviews like this every single Friday. And for now, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care, and bye-bye.